To turn it on. This passion in my body raging out me like a quiet storm. I've been stuck surrounded by these losers, lanes and all of them.
So something that I wanted to talk about is, in my personal opinion, I think there's like a huge difference between like being like jacked and being aesthetic, right? And basically, just to like clarify these terms that I'm using so like you guys can get the explanation, being like aesthetic is just having like a really like solid flow in your physique, right? Like everything looks good, everything looks balanced, and even to like somebody who's been working out for like a long time, they could be like, oh yeah, that guy looks pretty good, right? But when you're jacked, it's just like you look big in clothing, you look really muscular, but like if a bodybuilder were to look at you, they'd be like, oh, he's lacking, here or here or here or here, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is because, like, if you just want to get jacked, honestly, in my opinion, all you have to do is like hit arms really hard and like hit chest really hard and back, right? Uh, because honestly, like to a normal person really doesn't like care about your shoulders. Sure, shoulder width can give you like that V taper appearance, but it doesn't like the side delts don't really add that much when it comes to like how big your shoulder is. It's more of like your upper back to waist ratio. So having big arms and like the chest is not that important, but big arms, a huge back, like those, like as long as you train those two, then you'll look jacked in like normal clothing. People will be like, oh, you look so muscular, and like you'll get like compliments from people saying how buff you are, right? But when it comes to like training in regards to like trying to build an aesthetic physique, it's like you need to focus on like certain parts. Because let's say, for example, you have like a super developed, I mean, like your arms are a genetic strong point, right? But in terms of like aesthetics, you never want your arms to overpower your shoulders. So now you have to like sort of like pull back on the arm training and up the shoulder training. And it's like sort of like trying to like meticulously graph how your physique should look. And that's why Jesus, you're trying to like meticulously graph how you want your physique to look in order for you to have like a good flow, a good aesthetic. Uh, like you don't want like some parts of your physique to be too big. You don't want your forearms to be too big because that can like make your arms look smaller. And it's just like a bunch of like minute details that you need to like focus of. Where if you just want to get jacked, like also when you want to get jacked, like your forearms like super important, because like a lot of like normal people who don't like work out, all they notice really is like the arms. Like nobody's there like, oh wow, your shoulders are, your rear delts are so good, blah blah blah. And also, in my opinion, getting jacked is not only easier but a lot faster than trying to like look aesthetic, because there's like less muscles that you need to like really focus on. An example is, when you just want to get jacked, right? You don't need to focus on your rear delts or your front delts. You also don't need to focus like that much on like, your like lats or your lower lats and stuff like that. It's just like, the way I like to describe it is like getting jacked is like, drawing with crayon, and then getting aesthetic would be like trying to create a painting. Uh, and I feel like that's why like the old bodybuilders, they always used to say that like for them building physique was more of like an art project, because it is really difficult to try to like manage a bunch of things at once when you're trying to get uh, when you're trying to like develop your physique, in my opinion, of course. And honestly, like if you don't really care too much and you just want to see, because like when you go on YouTube and you try to search up like how to get jacked, a lot of people like overcomplicate it. Honestly, look, you train your forearms, so like your forearms get like super big. You train your arms, your biceps and triceps, so they get super big. Your chest, it doesn't really matter too much, because like in clothing, overdeveloped chest can look a little weird. uh and then your upper back, right? So that way you have like a cool little V taper. And honestly, that's it, like in terms of like getting like jacked. And then if you want to get aesthetic, that honestly, there's no guide that can teach you how to be aesthetic. It's just finding a physique that you personally like and trying to like develop your flow into like how you see fit. And yeah, that's all I want to talk about. All right, see you guys. All right, guys. I'm about to put you guys on. All right. Let's say you guys don't want to like buy pre-workout, right? Because some tubs could run you like $70, right? And that's kind of crazy, to be honest. So what I did was I went on Amazon, right? And I bought these. These are caffeine pills. I don't know if you guys can see the brand, but you get 500 servings of 200 milligram caffeine, which means each capsule has like 200 milligrams. And this is what I've been using. I pop like 2 before the gym, and it's literally just caffeine, and that's literally what I take before the gym right now, because like I don't want to buy any pre-workout as of right now. And it's like only 20 bucks on Amazon, so it's like really cheap. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But what I wanted to talk about is sometimes I don't know if I like working out, or if I like working out like because of the progress. Like, do I enjoy working out just for the sake of working out, or do I enjoy working out because of the fact that it makes that it gives me progress? Because literally the only reason why I started working out was because one of my friends benched 225 and I got jealous. But the reason why I stayed with working out was because I saw like literal physical change in my body, and I enjoyed seeing that. So like recently I've been thinking, like, if there was no progress, would I still like to work out? And I still don't know the answer to that, because like I absolutely hate like when I get sick and then I have to like work out for a long period of time, and all it is just me catching up to like what I was before I got sick. So I'm not really sure. I think because I really do like getting stronger. Like, I love just getting stronger, like being able to push more weight, being able to like lift heavier. Like, that's what I like. So I feel like in that aspect, like once I hit my once I hit the point where like progress is literally so minuscule that it's honestly like it would take like a couple of years to notice any type of changes, I feel like I would have to switch to like power building. I'm not power building, power lifting, because I'm always like chasing that that next strength gain, that next like little bit of dopamine release that happens once you get a little bit stronger. So to add another point to the whole how to get jacked versus how to get aesthetic thing, the reason why I think that the only thing you need like to get jacked is like arms, forearms, and a thick upper back is like predominantly what you need, is because when you're like jacked, you just want to look good in clothing, right? That's where like a lot of people go to the gym, just to look bigger. So if you want to look bigger, there's no point of like focusing on like the muscles that make you look better shirtless. It's more about just like being bigger overall. So if you're just skinny and you don't care about the whole aesthetics thing, literally just train like your arms, your forearms, and your upper back, and that's it. And then you'll look like super big in clothing compared to like somebody who has to also focus on like shoulders, and has to also focus on like their chest, and also like their legs, and also like their arms not being bigger than their shoulders. Like you'll definitely dwarf them in clothes, but there is a trade-off. When you're both shirtless, the guy who focuses on aesthetics is gonna look better, even if you are bigger. So there's there's pros and cons to both. Just like pick your poison. All right.